right, ladies and gentlemen, that's your culture for tonight. And Oski. And on with the show. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to perform some of the comic mysteries. Already I hear a dull murmur of, he's going to perform the whip. So what are the comic mysteries? Well, we're surrounded by comic mysteries, aren't we? George Bush, Dan Quayle, carry a little bit in the middle, David. Richard Branson. How many more of Richard Branson's useless stunts do we have to put up with before he gets his knighthood? Please, Your Majesty, put us all out of our misery. Saatchi and Saatchi, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, perhaps. There's a lot glad going on. There's a lot glad going on. No, I didn't get it either. There's a lot of Eden buggering about, if you ask me. And comic mystery of the moment. How are Strathclyde going to cope with their 300,000 warrant sales on their poll tax refuseniks? More of a comic tragedy, perhaps. And what about the wee guy who ran into the mosque in the south side of Glasgow the other day and shouted, "Taxi! Taxi for Rushdie!" The mystery being how he got out in one piece, of course. No, the comic mysteries are taken from the religious mysteries, which were little plays put on by the good townspeople in medieval times. They still do them today. Places like York, you know, the kind of thing. We have come with gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Sorry, Albert, I was wondering, why is our Betty not playing the Virgin this year? Well, you lad, you're the only lad in the village who is bloody wondering. So, I'll wait. So the comic mysteries were basically a pastiche, if you will, a parody, a spoof, basically taking the piss out of the religious mysteries. And they were performed by wandering minstrels. Although they did very little wandering because most of them had to sprint for their lives at the end of the show. Unlike me. Well, I got a car, you see. Although at Hogmanay I had to use the TARDIS. So, real alternative comedy started in medieval times, and it was very soon big all over Europe. A wee bit like Demis Roussos, perhaps. You can talk, Patty. Thank you, madam. Of course, as well as being a comedian, our wandering minstrel was also, in the days when people couldn't read or write, a traveling newspaper, a commentator of the great events of the day. But most importantly, our traveling minstrel was the voice of the people against oppressive rule and authority. Now, if tonight I should, by chance, have a swipe at Margaret Thatcher, heaven forfend, I'm not going to be clapped in irons and thrown into a dungeon. It is, after all, a free country, isn't it? Or should I chance to poke fun at some of the more quaint notions of the great religions? I'm not going to be shot on sight, am I? Well, not unless I publish them, perhaps. So, our wandering minstrel would wander into town, and a crowd would gather, and there'd be a lot of excitement because it was very naughty to go. And he would perform one of the comic mysteries. The crucifixion, for example, was always a great favorite. And when he came to the bit where he shouted out, "Who should we crucify, Jesus or Barabbas?" the cry would go up, "How's about the Lord Provost, why don't you?" Or Pat Lally could do with a doing. Or perhaps he'd start a speech in a very silly voice about the iniquitous tax laws introduced by the church to make the rich richer and keep the poor in the position to which they have become accustomed. You know, one of these ridiculous medieval taxes where everybody pays the same. Quite laughable nowadays, of course, isn't it? And this did not endear them, of course, to the local powers that be. Indeed, they tried to have the performances stopped. Did this stop our wandering minstrels, ladies and gentlemen? No, sirree, Bob. Because then as thou, there's no business like show business, there's no business I know. Until the powers that be, the churches and the politicians, decided to silence the minstrels once and for all. A wandering minstrel. And they were hanged, they were garroted, They were drawn, quartered, and disemboweled, or even, God forbid, put in the chorus of the Callum Kennedy show. A fate worse than death, some would say. But what has survived are the comic mysteries. And Dario Fo has collected them up, more or less dug them up from all over Europe, because very few of them are written down except on dungeon walls. And I shall be performing selected highlights, as they say in the cheap record selection in boots. And I shall start with the raising of Lazarus. Now, perhaps if our wandering newspaper at the time had been a Sun reporter, it would have been Bethlehem Boy in Zombie Scandal. One raised from the dead, 20,000 killed in the crush. And of course, play Raising the Dead bingo when we're a pair of Lazarus's wife's knickers. The story is told from the point of view of people who were there, and it's not told as a particularly religious or mystical or spiritual event, but rather a lot of people who've gone along to see a tremendously talented magician do very entertaining things. And I'm afraid, due to the tight-fistedness of the management, I shall be obliged to play everybody.
Excuse me, is this, would this be the, excuse me, is this the, excuse me, is this the right graveyard?
Well, it depends, doesn't it? I mean, people come to graveyards for all kinds of reasons, don't they? Visit their relatives, eat their lunch, have a piece. And here, no carryouts, by the way.
No, of course not. No, I was looking for the graveyard where they're going to do the raising of Lazarus. Do you know him that was buried? Well, apparently this holy man's going to come along and do a fabulous miracle, and everyone will say, jolly well done, and then we'll all go to the pub. Is this the right place?
Correct. I'll take today with everything that comes in and goes out of this here graveyard.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it then. I'll just nip in, shall I?
Just had your horse's tonto. I'll be 2 bob.
2 bob? What for?
Because I'm the caretaker of this here cemetery. Do you know what this place was like the last time there was a miracle here? The town cout, that's what it was like. And who had to work the back shift 9 nights in the row to keep it tidy? Well, it wasn't the bloody supervisor, I'll tell you that for nothing. No, it's all want to be where they saints do their miracles. Tap Mount Sinai as far as I'm concerned, but so long as I have to tidy it up, you can bloody well pay your 2 bob. Oh, here, go off that wall, you. Come here. Here. Got you, you sneaky wee cheek. Son again for nothing. Hey, no you did not, no you did not, no you did not pay before. I wouldn't forget a coupon like that. Going to rent, is it? Well, I had the host,
Dear me, what a terrible, terrible frisky rascal that, taking money for the miracles, really. I better find the one that says Lazarus. I always like to come early for the miracles, don't you? Well, you know, you have to, because some of these holy men are up to every trick in the book, you know. Total con men, you wouldn't believe the half of it. See, what they do is they come along, they put a dead man on the top, and a man who's still living right underneath. Then they come along, they do the old, you know, the signs. And then the coffin gets turned over, do you see? The dead man drops to the bottom and the living man just walks straight out. Well, that's not going to happen this time, because this time I have taken the trouble to find out the fellow's name. Lazarus it is. So all I have to do is find the gravestone that says Lazarus, sit myself down, and I'll get the best view of the miracle. Lazarus. Holy Mother of God. Now, even if I do find the gravestone that says Lazarus, how will I know? I can't read nor write. Damnation, and no one's going to tell me, that's for sure. Oh, dear, I'll just have to guess. I'll just stand still and wait here, see if anyone tells me.
Oh, I've got to quit. Some of you, what's your game? You don't see there's an open grave over there? I could fall straight in there. Along comes the holy man, does the 2 signs. There's me alive and kicking all the time. Going to look a right beezer. Not a bad turnout for a miracle, mind you. Oh, son, you want to come and see a miracle being performed? would you like to come and see a miracle being... The village idiot. Mind you, this village doesn't have just the one, you know? They all take it in turns. Oh, peasants! You ever seen a miracle before? Come on. Come on down. Cheeksters, never seen a miracle before. Where do you think you're going, short ass? Bloody cheek of it. Look at him. Built like a jockey's whip, too. What? I don't care if you are wee. Dwarves have to turn up early like everybody else and wait their turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're too wee to see at the back. Oh, would that we were all midgets and we could just swan in at the last minute and get the best view. Or did you think you died and gone to heaven already? Is that it? Where the wee ones come first and the big ones come last? Admission in order of height? Dream on. Get your chairs, lovely chairs. Get yourself a lovely chair. Get yourself a lovely chair. Rent yourself a comfy little seat. Watch the miracle in comfort. 1 shekel or 10 new pence. Get yourself a lovely... Hello, girls. Hello, ladies. Like to rent a seat, would you? No, I'm very sorry to hear that. Do you know why? Because it is a well-known medical fact, girls, that it is extremely dangerous to witness a miracle whilst standing up. Did you know that? Because when the holy man comes along, and come he most certainly will, and he rises out of the coffin with his great big claws, and his bright green eyes are staring out, and he goes, ugh. You could faint. You could faint clean away, fall over, bang your head against the stone, and then where are you? Dead, girls, that's where. Dead. It's worth thinking about, isn't it? Of course, he only does the one miracle in the day. You do know that, don't you? Yeah. You will, girls? Good, lovely. Thank you, madam. I hope you'll be very comfortable. Short tea? Like to rent yourself a chair, son? What for? Well, you could stand on it, get a lovely view. Come on, give it a shot. 1, 2... Oh! Look how tall you are now, eh? Hands off the new suit, thank you. I only hope it's worth waiting for. You know what's going to happen, of course, don't you? It's going to get dark. You're going to light the candles. The holy man's going to come along. He's going to go to the wrong grave. You're going to resurrect the wrong bloke. The right bloke's missus going to come along. She's going to burst into tears. You're going to have to kill the bloke. They just bloody resurrect it. Chair, sir? Chair. You, sir. Yes, very sensible, sir. Sardines. Get your sardines. Get your lovely freshly grilled sardines. Get your Galilee smokies fresh in a packet. Feeling wabbit, buy a packet. Sardines. Oi, sardines? Sardines? Here, why don't you give a sardine to Lazarus, prepare his stomach, eh? Why don't you shut up? Keep your hair on, girl. Oi, there he is. There's, what's his name? Jesus Thingy-Bob. Oh, so it is. And he's surrounded by all the saints and the apostles. Oh, I ken him. Him with the baldy napper and the big beard, that's Paul. And that beside him that's Peter. I ken him with the long hair. James has got some of you to hear, is he? No. I wonder if he ever trims down beard. Hey, Mark! Mark! Fancy seeing Mark here. Know him. He's never away for your house. Mark! We're like that. Betty will be really disappointed she missed him. Oh! Catch you down at the ubiquitous wine urn later, Mark. Oh, look. There's Jesus Christ himself. Oh, look. Looks awfully young, does he know? Hasn't even got a beard. Just a wee bit of bum fluff in his top lip. Looks awfully nice, doesn't he? I get a piece of anybody's door, that boy. He's awfully young, does he know? I'm awfully wee. I imagine he'd be a big strapping lad. He'd be big shooters and long hair, you know. But you're right. I thought he'd have filthy great hands as well. When you come to do the 3 signs of the faithful, 1, 2, 3, the faithful will be cut in 2. He looks a bit gentle to me, that one. A bit small. Oh, Jesus! Oh, I don't road you. Let me get... Jesus, whoa! Uh-oh. Great day, I want to make the loaves of the fishes. It was brilliant. Some feast, by the way. Feast. Feast. Is that all you can think about, stuffing your fat face while himself is over there? Isn't he wonderful? Who? Him with the charismatic smile, him with the bright eyes. Who is it? Jesus Christ. How did you get to the front? He's giving the order to go down on our knees now. We've all to go down on our knees and pray. Everyone, down on your knees and pray. If you don't pray, there will be no miracle today. Down on your knees and pray. I don't take today with that kind of stuff. That's a load of shite. A plague of boils be upon you.
I've already got boils.
Oh, and what are you going to do for a face when Goliath wants his arse back? And you needn't think that Jesus is going to go miracling you. Oh, leave it out, lads, leave it out. He's given the order to... Oh, he's given the order to lift the stone. Ezekiel, will you, Abraham? Lend a hand here. On the three, lads. 1, 2... Oh, God, it's granite! Oh. 1, 2... Whoa! God, we're awake! Oh. Oh, what a whiff. That is disgusting. Oh, that's not human, that isn't. No, wait a minute, that's Lazarus. That's the boy we buried. Woof. Look at the worms crawling out his eyes. There's worms coming out his ears as well. What's that coming down his nose? Oh, no, that's a bad joke. They bastards have played in the boy.
Excuse me, which boy would this be?
Oh, Jesus. Jesus was told that Lazarus was buried 3 days ago, but that's been there a month if it's been a day.
Would this be something to do with the plague, you suppose?
No. He'll never manage it. He'll never manage a miracle with that one. Do you want to bet? Aye, 10 pence says he'll never do it. I'll open a book. 12 pence says he'll never do it. 15 says he does. You're an optimist, madam. 10 pence said he would... No, you blasphemous pig. Taking bets while himself is over there on his knees. Black burning shame be upon you. I'll have 10 pence each way. He's giving the order now. He's saying, arise, Lazarus. He's saying, come forth. Come forth, Lazarus. Is that what he said? Come forth, Lazarus. Let me tell you something. Only thing that's going to come forth out of there's a big red face full of worms. Oh, Jesus, why don't you get him to do a wee song and dance the way out? Oh! Oh, my God. Lazarus has come forth. It's come forth. Oh, my God, it's a miracle. Oh, Jesus, well done. Well done. It's a miracle before our very eyes. I'm really sorry about what I said. I didn't mean it really.
Yes, he's up. He's out the grave. He's running. He's fallen, but he's up again. Yes, and he's on the go. Aye, he's up and he's shaking his tail like a dog out the water. There's worms flying everywhere. There certainly are, darling, and this is a new suit, if you don't mind. Oh, it's a miracle. He's got tears in his eyes, but the tears of joy. Aye, they are. Well done, Jesus. Well done. That's brilliant. Where's my money got to? Whoa! Stop that dwarf. Well done, Jesus. It's a miracle. Well done. Well done. Stop that wee bastard. Stop him now.
Coltrane, Mistero